Hey, what's up? It's Symphony here. Subscribe to my brother Mr. Creepy as Hell channel, and when you're watching his videos, make sure you stay in one piece.
It's been 8 years since my wife disappeared, but when she disappeared, she wasn't normal. She wasn't herself. Something happened to her, and I don't know what it was, but it resulted in her leaving. And for a while, people assumed that I had something to do with her disappearance. The authorities presumed her dead, but I know for a fact she's not dead. She's just hiding really well. I know for a fact she doesn't want to be found. And whatever happened to my wife, it wasn't her. It was her body. It might have had her eyes and her mouth, her limbs, and she may act like my wife in front of everyone else, but when I'm alone with her, she was completely different. My name is Stan, and this is my story I want to share with you about my wife. So this happened 9 years ago. My wife's name was Ellie, and me and her were married 2 years prior to the events that took place. We had to go through a lot of hurdles in our relationship to get married, including her mother. Her mother did not like me at all. She thought that I didn't deserve Ellie's love and that Ellie deserves better. And to be honest with you, I really didn't care for her mother either. The way she looked at me, the way she disrespected me, I tried everything in my power to get her approval, but nothing worked. And the worst thing was, I will always hear her mother encouraging her daughter to have an affair and to leave me because she didn't like me. Stuff like that really hurted me, but I tried very, very hard not to let it get to me, because regardless, Ellie loved me, and I loved Ellie, and I was going to do all I can to make her happy. On January the 8th of 2016, my wife, Ellie, was going on a girls' trip. It was one of her friend's birthday, and her friend pleaded with her to come on a trip. And so Ellie couldn't refuse. She let me know a few weeks in advance that she was leaving out to go on a vacation or a trip, and that she would be back in about a week and a half. I didn't mind. She works very hard, and I figured that she deserves to go hang out with her friends. On the day of the trip, I helped my wife pack up the stuff that she needed. The trip was going to be a week and a half, and I made sure she had everything. Right before she left out the door, I told her, "All right, Ellie, you have a good time. Don't have too much fun now." "Stan, you know me. You know I'm going to always have more fun than I can handle." Me and Ellie laughed before she grabbed her stuff and headed out to the door for her Uber that was waiting outside in front of our house. When she got on the Uber, I waved to her one more time. She waved back at me, then her ride took off. About a day later, I was sitting at the house, typing something up on my laptop. That's when my phone rang. I looked at who was calling me, and I rolled my eyes almost all the way to the back of my head. It was my mother-in-law, and she never calls me unless it's something crazy or something she's accusing me of. I hesitated for a few moments to pick up the phone as it kept on ringing. Then finally I picked up the phone. "Where the hell is my daughter? Where's Ellie? I know you probably done something to her. You caused her to run away, didn't you? I knew that you weren't no good for her." It took everything in me not to yell at her back, but I composed myself, and I tried to calm down, and I tried to talk to her with the most respect. "Ma'am, Ellie went on a little vacation with her friends. She'll be back." As I was about to say something else to my mother-in-law, my door swinged open, and it was Ellie. I was completely flabbergasted because she was supposed to be on vacation for another 7 days. So why was she here early? I hung up on my mother-in-law because I didn't have time for her annoying shenanigans. I went over there to greet Ellie, and I asked her out of confusion, "Ellie, what are you doing here? I thought you were supposed to be on vacation for another 7 days. Why are you back so early? Did something not go as planned? Did you and your friends get into an argument? What's going on?" She didn't utter a word. She just slowly shook her head no. When I saw her went upstairs, I looked into her eyes, and something was so wrong. Her eyes looked like it had no life in it. Her eyes just felt empty, like she'd been drained from emotions. I figured that something had to gone down between her and her friends to cause her to leave so early and come back home. But I didn't pressure her. I let her went upstairs and unwind as I made dinner for me and her. Once dinner was done, I called for Ellie. "Supper's ready, Ellie, if you want any. It's your favorite, spaghetti and sausage." 3 minutes had passed and Ellie didn't come down. I was about to go upstairs and see if she was alright, but then I heard the door creak open from our bedroom, and she slowly walked down with her head tilted down. She walked it so slow it seemed like something just drained the energy out of her, like she had no life force in her. She slowly walked down, and she came to the table, and she sat down, but she didn't eat her food. She just stared straight ahead. I tried to push for some answers, and I asked Ellie, "Ellie, are you sure everything is okay? Is something wrong? Did you have a falling out with your friends?" She slowly turned towards me and said something. "You know, my mother was right about you. You don't love me. And I see it now. You only want me for my money, for our family name. Stan, I thought I knew you. You're a piece of shit. You know that? You are an abuser and a manipulative person. How? I couldn't even leave anywhere. You sent your goons after me and brought me back here. So yeah, of course I'm gonna feel down that you ruined my trip. I was trying to get away from you. You're controlling." "Calm down, Ellie. You don't want me to do the same thing that I did to your mother to you now, would you?" I guess the cat is out of the bag now. I only wanted to be with Ellie because of the money. Nothing else or nothing more. And I did send people after her after I found out that she was going to abandon our marriage. I wasn't going to have that. Besides, I have plans. I have plans on killing her the same way I killed her mother. There's no way she's going to escape me. I did tell Ellie one last thing. "Ellie, you're not going anywhere. Now eat your food." I added a certain special spice to it. Give it a nice little kick, flavor for you. "You must think I'm stupid. I know you poisoned this. I'm not eating it." I shook my head as I decided to give up on the plan of poisoning her. I quickly grabbed out my gun and I shot her.